Welcome to Formula Fanatics, the high-octane sub-series of break-fix podcasts drive-through motorsports news. This is your pit stop for all things Formula One, from breaking headlines and race recaps to insider analysis and paddock buzz. Whether you're a die-hard tifoso, a Red Bull loyalist, or just love the thrill of wheel-to-wheel racing, we've got you covered with up-to-date F1 news delivered at full throttle. Strap in, because the lights are out and we're underway. This is Formula Fanatics.
All right, Formula. There's a lot to cover. I mean, it's a silly season, right? It's so silliness. Although I was trying to keep track of all this stuff. We're going to talk about the silly season stuff as we go along here. I didn't see too many crazy things. Maybe, Tanya, you found some other information. But I want to start out by talking about an article I read. Somebody said that Russell's problem, put air quotes around that, Russell's problem, one of many, I would assume, is that Mercedes is using onboard AI to learn his driving habits. This goes back to our drive-thru episode. We're talking about the transmission, learning how you drive, right? So we got this AI learning how Russell drives, and it was improperly learning his turbo mushroom deployment and was using all of his energy at the beginning of the lap, leaving him with next to nothing at the end of a lap.
Was it improperly learning his turbo mushroom technique, or was he improperly using
the turbo mushroom?
A little A, a little B.
Just saying. I'm going to assume Mercedes Formula One AI is probably slightly better than ChatGPT, but
maybe they're using ChatGPT.
Maybe that's the problem.
I'm also going to assume that Kimi doesn't have the same problem.
Are they not using AI on his car?
Is he using a different turbo mushroom?
He's using his foot.
He's using a turbo foot.
I feel like this whole month not having a Formula One race was really weird.
It's always like that.
I need my fix, even though I hate
it. Like that.
I kind of hate it, but I kind of want it. And it's just like I was having withdrawals. Like I need an F1 race in August.
It's this weekend.
We'll talk about that on the next episode. Since we're talking about the schedule, you and I were discussing the difference between the Spain Grand Prix and the Madrid Grand Prix.
Were we?
And they are not the same thing. They are not at the same location. So we got 2 races in Spain.
When?
This year. But it sort of begs the question, why not a German Grand Prix or a French Grand Prix? Imola was also dropped from the race schedule this year.
Why not go back to Portugal? I love that track.
Right?
That track with that banked turn, that track was awesome.
But anyway, Tanya, go ahead.
So the previous Spanish Grand Prix, which was in Barcelona, Catalunya, was still on the schedule this year, but apparently is going into a rotation. So now the new track in Madrid, the Madring, will be the Spanish GP going forward. There will only be one.
Oh, okay.
Presumably. I'm not sure what the rotation is going to be.
Oh, so they're dropping Catalunya.
Sounds like it.
That's sad.
That is sad because that's a great F1 track. So I don't know why they would do that. It's weird. But I mean, they dropped Imola this year too. So it makes no sense either. Big boo on that one.
Yeah, why not drop Monza?
Yeah, Monza's kind of boring. But Monza's one of those, it is one of the original F1 tracks. So it's sort of hard to be like, well, we're not going to run there anymore. I've heard that the German Grand Prix could be held at the Nürburgring circuit, but could also be held at Hockenheim. But I had heard that the Hockenheim circuit, which they used forever, has also fallen into disrepair. But there's word that they're going to dump a bunch of money into like rehabbing it, and it may be coming back to the Formula One schedule in the future. So maybe we'll have a German Grand Prix.
Wow. So hold on a second. Let's back up a train for a second, because I did not know this. So if I'm reading this correctly, we are losing Spa.
What?
Because they're going to alternate with Barcelona.
What?
So there will be odd years. Apparently, Spa will have a race. And then even years, Barcelona is going to have a race. Also, we can have the Madrid ring.
Oh, God.
At least until 2032. Apparently, that is
until 2032.
That is the current agreement on rotation. I wonder what the back history on Spa losing would be.
That's another one like Monza, where it's like, why would you ever remove that from the schedule?
Interesting.
But Budapest, on the other hand, God, what a this I labeled this the race of many pit stops. They were constantly pitting, constantly pitting. Every 3 minutes, it was like somebody's in for a pit stop. Like the tires just were not holding up. Yes, Hammy was fifth. Kimi started seventh. Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Verstappen was the starting order. Alonso had his upgrades, start 16th. Stroll, not so much. Speaking of Stroll, I want to quickly talk about your favorite Formula One driver, Brad, before we continue, because this came up after the Budapest race. Lance Stroll, 2026 recap.
But none of it's his fault, remember? None of it's his fault.
Okay, most loser driver of all time. Like, why do they keep this guy on the payroll? Oh, I know why.
You know why.
Because his daddy signs the payroll.
Nepo baby. Yeah, that's it. There it is.
I mean, that's the harsh reality. Some people are out there trying to defend this man, and obviously he made it through F3 and F2 and blah, 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 and fine. So obviously he has a capacity to drive. But the reality is, if he was on any other team or his father was not somehow there, this dude would have been gone years ago already.
Yeah, he had the skill to get there. I think we can all agree on that, but he does not have the skill to stay there.
And some people find that out. They're not quite cut out for whatever happens when they get to Formula One. They're just not as cut out for it.
I mean, we can talk about numerous drivers, but I would say I feel Mick Schumacher has more of a reason to be there than Lance Stroll.
Well, he has a reason to be an IndyCar with Sonoda now, so it's all good. He's got it all figured out. So Audi starts 10th and 14th. Piastri takes the lead right away. Russell drops to 20th because of his anti-stall problem. So I was cheering massively for that.
Well, it's because of his AI.
Is that what? Yeah, it was his AI that told him that he needed to stay parked instead of taking off when the lights turned.
Maybe he got Lance Stroll's AI, I think is
maybe he got Kimi's car. They switched. Toto switched him at the last minute. Kimi's had all those terrible starts. Maybe that's what they did. Lap 7, Verstappen starts complaining about the car. We had a debate about whether or not the wings are programmed to open and close at specific intervals and parts of the track, or are the drivers actually controlling when the wings open and close? We know this whole mechanism was designed to replace DRS and KERS and all that stuff we've had over the years. I have a feeling that it would be too much for the drivers to control the wings opening and closing and rotating and all the stuff that they do. I think they are controlled by the computers.
Would they be passive and be controlled by something the driver does indirectly?
The other thought I had was the driver can open them, but there's probably sensors on the track that say this is when the wings have to close, because aren't there those zones, like the DRS zones?
So, according to our AI overlords, they can manually trigger both the opening of the front and rear wings in the designated areas. So they manually activate them in the straight line, but the wings will automatically shut when they either lift or they hit the brakes.
Okay, there it is. Okay, so this was, again, the race of pit stops. I wrote down stuff like Hammy pits on lap 14. He goes from softs to hards, and Max goes from mediums to hards. And then there's all a bunch of Hammy and Max. Meanwhile, Bottas, there's lots of smoke from the brakes. He retired the car on lap 15, so I yelled Duralast, built to go last, all that kind of stuff is per usual. You could literally see the brakes were on fire again in the Cadillac. I don't know what they're doing with that thing. It is not working out for them. I don't know why I wrote Hajar and then boo. And then Kimi was on a one-stop ? And then suddenly he pits on lap 23 for hards. He goes down 6 positions, and he's ahead of Russell in the pits, who's at 9th. Bunch of pit stops. Like, you can read all my notes if you want to. But basically, the funniest things that happened were Piastri made contact with Sainz at one point, and the announcers were like, Carlos, get out of the way. What a backmarker. That Williams is terrible.
Which has started the season better, I thought.
Yes. Again, more pit stops. Leclerc is trying to find the rhythm. So I started thinking about
it is the rhythm of the night.
I was thinking Gloria Estefan, right?
Oh.
then there's an issue with Perez in the Cadillac. Something starts flapping on the suspension, so there's a white flag moment. And then more pit stops, more pit stops, more pit stops. Piastri loses the gearbox.
Did he find it?
Hammy avoids some penalties and some other shit. And then in the end, after all this,
Audi scores points.
yeah, whatever. Audi scores points. Blah. After all this stuff, Russell's in the back. Kimi's got a start penalty and he's fighting his way, and Hammy and Verstappen with the tires and all this blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't a very good race. And maybe that's because our reigning champion was finally at the front. They like uncorked the McLaren. Lando was out to prove something. They were even telling him he needed to just relax and calm down. He was pushing too hard at one point. Up until this point, even that last race, we were like, man, Lando hasn't amounted to nothing. He isn't going to do anything. He scored any points. And boom, Budapest, Lando wins the race. First race he's won this year. And I'm just like, oh, man. So end of the race was Lando, Verstappen, Kimi, and Leclerc, and then Hammy. That's the top 5. Russell clawed his way back up to 7th place because of all this pit stop nonsense and this and that. He just kind of stayed out as long as he could. And to Tanya's point, Audi in 9th and 11th scoring points. And Aston with their mods, 13th and 14th. Can you believe it? What a messed up race. Did you watch it, Brad? Did you even bother to watch it?
Yes, I watched it. I just don't remember anything about it.
It's like a month ago. Lord.
As we're looking through your notes, I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen. Oh yeah, that did happen. Oh yeah, that did happen.
I like a dramatic headline as much as everybody else. So just to celebrate Audi just a little bit.
This isn't really dramatic. It's factual.
No, but if you read it in a Jeremy Clarkson like dramatic voice, it becomes dramatic. Audi F1 scores points for the 3rd straight race. As
That's not Jeremy Clarkson. That is William Shatner.
That's Jeremy Shatner.
Jeremy Shatner.
Yeah, I did channel my inner Captain Kirk there. But okay, great. You scored points for the 3rd time out of how many races?
Doesn't matter. How many points is Cadillac?
0 points.
How many points does Aston have?
Yeah. How many points has Williams gotten?
Fine. But I want to point something out because this other article, propaganda from Audi, came out talking about Binotto. Like, there's a great picture of Egon here. Audi's debut is on track, but the job is far from finished. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
you read all this BS. And basically, he says the goal is to fight for championships by 2030.
Okay.
They won't even be a team by 2030.
That's what I'm saying. This is the biggest bunch of malarkey I've ever read. And they keep putting stuff out like this. We're going to be at the front. Yeah, because nobody else is going to be driving in Formula One in 2030. Come on. Garbage.
They're going to find another sponsor to buy the Sauber team.
Correct.
They're manifesting their destiny, okay? It's called manifesting.
That's not part of how I car culture. Sorry. No, that doesn't work. You don't manifest it.
What do you want them to say? We're going to be fighting for last position, trying to outbest Cadillac for 19th and 20th. That's what we're going to do.
We're just here to spend Volkswagen's money.
That's what they should be saying, right? And what was all that stuff about Alan McNish? We haven't heard hide or hair of him. Like, wasn't he supposed to be the new team principal? What is going on? Whatever. Who cares? It's Audi. They're never going to be better than where they are. That's pretty much it. Because unless they start spending Red Bull money or they start spending Ferrari money, it's not going to happen, right? So they're always just going to be Sauber at the end of the day. And it's a middling team, and that's the end of that. Now, what would suck is that this new Aston, if they get their stuff together, but they still have 2 strikes against them. They got like geriatric Alonso and they got Lance Stroll behind the wheel. If they had decent drivers, maybe the Astons will get better, especially if they keep making improvements. So if the Astons get better and Audi starts getting beaten by them, let's just assume it's Lance and Alonso, why would Audi even bother staying? They're a one-hit wonder and they never got a hit. That's what's going to happen to them. Just my crystal ball. 1 year, 2 max. 1 year, 2 max. They won't make it past their 2nd year if they do stay next year. That's all I'm saying about that. Audi.
And where's Cadillac going?
Cadillac's going down the train.
We're going to go back to 10 teams?
That's the funny part too, because we questioned that from the beginning. Why is Cadillac going to Formula One? It doesn't make any sense. Like, Cadillac, old stodgy Luxo boats. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, yeah, you did Le Mans and all this stuff. So apparently Cadillac is one of the GM brands. I heard this from somebody else with some authority that said that basically they're not interested in their past. They're trying to rewrite their future. They want to be Pontiac. They want to be what Pontiac was supposed to be, like the hot brand that's cutting edge, that's a little outside the normal, Chevy Cavalier and Equinox kind of stuff. And they want to be cool. And so racing is cool. And that's Cadillac now. So we're not worried about the DeVilles and the STSs and the Eldorados that's not Cadillac. We don't know what that is.
I don't even go there with this. So I see them in here and I go, you're so competitive in hypercar, whatever. Yeah. And so you have all this knowledge.
And you suck wind in Formula One.
And more relevant knowledge at this point, arguably, than Audi, because Audi also raced with the R8s and all those and the TDI thing and all that. And they were very competitive, but that was many, many years ago. And they really haven't been in the scene at this level for a long time. So it's like, I don't even care about the Cadillac Eldorado bullshit. Who gives a shit? It's like you have current racing technology and advancements and engineers, and then you're sucking ass over here. Like, are you bringing none of that knowledge? Or, hey, wow, Formula One is very different.
It is. And what I think it is in WEC, that hypercar LMP1 class, GTP, whatever you want to call it, they have more liberty to do whatever they want until they get caught, because that was even Audi back in the day, like when they did the whole, we can change the engine and the rear end in 3 minutes and then put the car back on track, and it's still considered that we didn't, we weren't out and we never lost. You remember all that stuff with the R8 back in the day and all the revolutionary, bringing diesel to Le Mans, all this kind of stuff. They were pushing the boundary like Lotus did. It was one of those sort of like, we're going to do it until somebody tells us not to. And Cadillac, the same in GTP. They just unveiled the new GTP car for Cadillac. I forget what it's called, the something V1 or something like that. It's super cool and it's very futuristic and it might win Le Mans next year or whatever. But that technology can't come to Formula One because Formula One is a prescribed formula that they have to follow. So they can't, and I don't want to say that they're cheating, but they can't push the boundary and come up with something so unique and different. Because the FIA is just going to say, rip that shit out. You're not pushing
anything. Might as well take a goddamn Cadillac Eldorado and put it on a track. It'd have more reliability than these. I'm sorry, Audi designed their own engine, and they're running in the middle of the pack. Cadillac, you don't know how to design an engine? What the fuck engine are you using? Because those things are slow AF. Even when their brakes aren't catching on fire and the suspension is exploding, okay? They're slow. They're slower than the Astons.
Ferrari power plant.
But like, isn't it like last year's Ferrari power plant?
Did Ferrari give them a power plant from 25 years ago?
They never give the current technology.
I mean, of course they're not going to give the same.
So I think they gave like last year's power plant.
Yeah, but that should still be better than what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like something fundamentally is like wrong with Cadillac.
Perez and Bottas aren't doing them any favors either. So it's like, oh my God.
It's probably collusion because nobody wanted them in Formula One to begin with.
I said it and everybody's like, no. It's a team made up of hand-me-downs. Lord knows where they got the chassis from. We know the engine came from Ferrari, which was probably a junkyard motor, like you said, like all this kind of stuff. And who knows if Andretti's behind the scenes and they still got this whole anti-Andretti thing going on, the cards are stacked against them. So they're another one that I'm like, are you going to do a Haas and like suck for 10 years and then be marginally middle of the pack after 10 years? Or my slight against Audi is with all of Audi's brain power and all of their winningness and motorsports heritage and all going back to the beginning of cardom in general, when you go back to the Silver Arrows, they suck. They should be doing better than they are. They are not doing any better than when it was just Sauber by itself. That's, I think, to Brad's point about teams that are just sort of there to be there. Like Sauber and Williams are those two token teams that are just middle of the road. They're there because they're legacy. They're just going to be what they're going to be. They're never going to be any better than what they already are. And unfortunately, with Bortlin and Hulkenberg, they're not going to get any higher up than they are. Unless everybody in front of them wrecks, there is no chance Audi's going to podium.
I think that's also part of the problem is their drivers.
But isn't that the whole point of silly season? Shouldn't we be hearing something about Hulkenberg? If I was Audi, I would not be renewing his contract, and I don't know that I'd be renewing Bortoletto's contract.
I don't know.
They should be getting better drivers. I heard teases about Carlos talking to Red Bull, which is all BS, probably left over from a couple of years ago. I would almost take Carlos to Audi.
I heard that actually at one point, those two words put together. But Max has re-signed his contract with Red Bull. He's staying there, and there's no way they're kicking him to the curb yet. Red Bull's full.
What's going on with this upcoming race that they're sitting him out and putting Sonoda in the car for the
He's
first time?
sick.
Broke his wrist.
Yeah, he's injured.
Doing what? This is what
He's
you get
injured.
going on vacation.
He has an injury, so that's why he's getting subbed out. It's not for his performance. He can't drive.
He's been doing better. I mean, I got to give Hadjar credit. I mean, he's doing a lot better. Audi, whatever. We'll see what happens there. But I wanted to take a break before we talk about some of the more silly season stuff that I came across. I actually watched a Formula E race. Because there was no Formula One to watch, I watched a Formula E race. Have you guys watched a Formula One E race?
I didn't know it was still a thing.
Yes, it's still very much a thing. First one I stumbled across, I watched the Tokyo race, which happened to be at the end of July. And then there's obviously races after that. The Formula E is a FIA sanctioned, same production value as Formula One. So when you watch it, it feels very comfortable. It feels very normal. Like the announcers are different. You know, the way they shoot things and the way they do things, it's all very just Formula One. So that was fine. A lot of the drivers aren't as well known, like, you know, Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton. Like those guys don't run in Formula E, but there are some of the WEC guys that run there, like Buemi runs in Formula E. Like he does production cars. You know, you've seen his name, Ferrari, Porsches, whatever, right? So I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, there's an interesting cross section of drivers in Formula E. The races are short. It's like a Formula One sprint race, which is actually kind of nice because I don't know that I can stand to listen to those things for more than 33 laps. The cars themselves do not look like Formula One cars. They look like something out of Forza or Gran Turismo, you know, like the wacky Formula One Hot Wheels looking things that are in Gran Turismo. That's what the Formula E cars look like. And the brands do not overlap with Formula One. You've got Nissan, Porsche, Volkswagen money in Formula E, Renault, Jaguar, Skoda, more Volkswagen money in Formula E, and it goes on and on and on from there, right? They do have something similar to Formula One where they push the button in the turbo mushroom. They call it attack mode, which I thought was hilarious. I am not sure if the car is regen, but they are definitely much slower. Like top speed, buck 20, buck 30 at best. But the sound, it's like, I mean, if you've ever ridden an electric go-kart, they sound exactly the same. The racing is a lot tighter and a lot closer, but it's also like super boring. It's this weird dichotomy. That's the word I want to use for it. It's everything and nothing at the same time. And if that's the future of racing, I'm gonna cancel my subscription. So I highly recommend you watch a Formula E race. Okay.
Apparently.
Maybe I'll watch Formula E again next August when there's no racing going on. That'll be my once a year thing is to watch Formula E. All right, so some silly season stuff that I read, if we want to dive into that. Alonso reportedly agreed to stay with Aston. He wants $40 million per year through 2028. That would increase his base pay by $10 million, but it's contingent upon an engine upgrade for the car going into next season. So he obviously wants the Aston to be able to score more points. I mentioned earlier the German GP might return to Hockenheim because the facility is dumping $250 million into it to bring it back up to spec. Formula One has said it is on the radar. So that's interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out schedule-wise. I also wanted to bring up this because Tanya sent me this picture. We know that Barilla is a sponsor of Formula One and has been in the past. There was even part of the family that raced in Formula One back in the day. But this Formula One wheel pasta, would you eat this?
I did.
Wait, what? You did? You bought it?
Yes, I did.
That's got to be terrible.
No, actually, they cooked very well.
Really? Because normally those weird shaped pastas do not cook well.
No, I made a pasta salad with it. Not gonna say that that was the best shape maybe for a pasta salad, but that's what I did with it.
Wait. So you had Formula One pasta salad?
Yes.
What did you put in there?
Pasta.
Vegetables.
Oh, I thought, okay.
What do you think I put in?
What's more exciting, Tanya's pasta salad or Formula E? I'm trying to figure it out now.
Tanya's pasta salad. I could do a whole segment on. Ooh, no, there's already somebody that does that. Never mind.
Yep. All right. So rounding out other fun facts and silly season rumors, Russell got engaged.
Oh, God.
I'm going to say that again. George Russell got engaged.
To himself?
Shoe for every foot.
Did he get engaged to the mirror?
No, there were pictures of them. I don't remember her name.
Harmon.
She's like blonde or whatever, but I saw the
Harmon.
pictures online and yeah.
Was he wearing a blonde wig in the mirror?
The eyelashes. Oh, it's Big Bird and Snuffy.
Snuffleupagus.
She's not blonde.
No, I thought she was.
She's a brunette.
Then it is Russell in a wig. So Russell got engaged. So did Albon. And apparently, while Hadjar was breaking his wrist doing Lord knows what, Leclerc got married during August. So there we go.
Leclerc was already married.
I don't know. What I read was he got married this month.
I'm pretty sure he had already gotten married.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations to all the nuptials.
Or maybe they were just engaged and he did. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
No, they got married, and he had his dog at the ceremony or something, and
I thought this was a while ago, though.
it was earlier in the summer, I think, or maybe in
Okay.
the spring. He got married in February.
There you go. Thought it was a while ago.
Maybe they JOP'd it and then had the real thing later. Wasn't the racing season. I don't know. That's what I read. The internet is full of lies. That's what it is.
And truths.
Did you guys come up with any other silly season things?
It seemed pretty benign. There's been no shuffles because basically everybody renewed their contract. So also Bortletto and Hulkenberg renewed contracts with Audi.
Boo.
And Carlos renewed contract with Williams. So basically nobody's going anywhere.
So it's going to be another blah year next year then.
Yep.
And McLaren's on the back foot. If they found their turbo mushroom, is there a chance McLaren can win this season, or is Mercedes too far ahead?
I'm still hanging my hat on Ferrari winning.
There's no way, dude. There's no way.
I'm manifesting it.
If you look at the romper room that was Hungary and all those pit stops, that's Ferrari's Achilles heel, is all these pit stops. And they did some dumb stuff if you go through all the notes. And there's no way. There's no way. And in that instance, it wasn't any better for Leclerc than it was for Hamilton. So Ferrari's going to Ferrari when it comes to pit
There's still
stops.
12 races.
It's like a whole nother season.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically they've only done half the races. So yes, the tables could turn. I think it could still be anybody's comeback. And Hamilton is the closest in points.
Well, I am going to declare Kimi mid-year champion. Mid-season winner, Kimi Antonelli.
Can he take that and put that into a contract?
Toto's not
What
letting
can he
him
do
go.
with what can he do with your mid-year championship status? Did you get him a trophy?
Yes, I would. Can I make him one? Do you think he'll take it?
Are you playing the Italian national anthem for him?
Every time. I can't wear those glasses like I did last time, though. My God, my eyes were like it was so terrible.
Excellent.
All right. So as we go back into the second half of the Formula One season, we restart with the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort, right?
Yep.
FP1 is in 7 hours.
Oh my
Or
God.
7 hours, 59 minutes.
Such a go-kart track, though. It's too small for those cars.
It's fun.
But we're going to get rid of Spa. We're going to keep the Dutch Grand Prix. Like, really? It's got to be.
I think Spa might be because of like safety concerns too.
Or Spa's getting more popular now too, with other 24 hours of Spa and all these other races that they're doing all the time there. So
I want to drive Spa
me too.
when we win the lottery.
So I also wanted to ask, as we look forward to the second half of the season, because of the conflict, excursion, whatever we're calling it, I don't know what it's called. I don't even know if it's still happening anymore. We lost 2 races on the schedule in the Middle East due to whatever's happening over there. What about the end of the season? Are we going to have a Qatar and a Yas Marina race?
Is there going to be an end of the year?
Yeah, because I've heard rumors about them doing 2 races at Vegas and like doubling up for extra points or something like that.
Who can tell? I mean, will there be a next week? Will there be a tomorrow? Will it be an end of the year? I mean, it's too early to tell on any of these things. So they're still on the schedule.
But the question is it written into the FIA's laws for this season or other seasons? You know how they kind of group those laws together, that they have to have a certain number of races or be able to have a minimum number of points in order to crown a champion?
I have no idea. I've never questioned that or looked into it. I think some people would argue there's too many races in a season.
I
So
agree.
is it really harming anything?
Before we move on, I asked Gemini our question, and it says the FIA Formula One sporting regulations state that a minimum of 8 races is required to constitute a valid world championship season. Despite the cancellation of the rounds in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, the 2026 calendar comfortably remains above this threshold with 22 scheduled race events, meaning no special minimum race count waivers are triggered.
Okay, perfect. That works.
If the season ended now, I think we've already met that threshold. So
Yes, if the season ended now, Kimi would be the champion. Boom.
there you go.
Boom.
So if the apocalypse happened tomorrow, Kimi wins.
Damn right.
Not that it matters, but Kimi wins.
The Drive-Thru is our monthly news episode and is sponsored in part by organizations like CollectorCarGuide.net, Project Motoring, Garage Style Magazine, the Exotic Car Marketplace, and many others. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor of The Drive-Thru, look no further than www.motoringpodcast.net. Click About and then Advertising. Thank you again to everyone that supports the Motoring Podcast Network, Grand Touring Motorsports, our podcast Break Fix, and all the other services we provide.